Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to TSUKIHIME. And it has been a little bit since I last recorded. I took a little bit of a break as we kind of entered the next arc of this game, if you will, or this route, or however you want to describe it. I think specifically in the last episode, we decided to continue working with Arcueid. There is more danger afoot, and we definitely don't want to just be sitting by. Arcueid is not in the state that she needs to be in order to fight off whatever vampire is actually causing the ruckus here in town. So I guess an ordinary human with some interesting abilities with his eyes is going to be helping out. There's definitely more to it. I just can't remember all the specific details here for this introduction. I think the last episode, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong because it has been a little bit, was the one I had to re-record. I could be completely wrong. So, just to avoid a burnout, I think that's why I decided to take my break when I did. But I think everything is fine with my settings. I don't remember if the last episode is the one that I had to completely re-record, and then a little bit extra. I think I went a little bit over, just so I could experience something new. But yeah, I took a little bit of a break because I was going on vacation soon, and I wanted to finish up a section or an episode of Umineko, one of the 8 chapters or episodes of the game. So I wanted just, to get that out of the way before resuming anything with TSUKIHIME or Fate or anything else. But my vacation is over. The COVID that I got while I was on vacation is over. That actually really sucked. Do not recommend getting sick while you're, out and about, or, sick with COVID. That's even worse. I am totally back on the grind, ready to go. And, man, whenever it was at Evo is where I went, there was some TSUKIHIME stuff. More specifically, I would say Melty Blood, but I don't know what that is. So I had to be a little cautious at what I was looking at because there was a lot of designs of stuff that didn't look quite familiar, but at the same time did. So I don't even know what I saw. Let's just keep it at that. A lot of Neko arc, by the way. I'm definitely understanding the Neko arc less and less by the day. By the time Arcueid finally releases me from our handshake, it's almost 9. My head hurts thinking about what will happen once I get home, but that won't be for a while. And now that I've decided to lend my support, and we've got a vampire hunt to plan.
それでこれからどうするんだやっぱり街を歩いて死者を探すのか
そうねこの街にいる死者を全滅させれば親元の吸血鬼は出てこざるを得なくなるでしょうし今はそれぐらいしか手はないけど
Is that okay with you? Her eyes ask.
いいも何も俺はアルクエイドに付き合うだけだ餅は餅屋って言うし専門家に従うよ
And just as I say it, Arcueid looks at me with a wide grin on her face.
なんだよおかしなこと言ったか
シキやけに素直だなって
Maybe I should start acting a little tougher. I have the feeling that she'll be asking crazy stuff of me if I don't draw the line somewhere.
行くぞ街を回ればいいんだろさっきの高架線下とかもう一度調べてみるか
あの区域はもういいわ死者は互いに食い合わないよう犠牲者の数を一区間に集中させないようそれぞれ活動ルートを定めているの一晩に食事をさせる死者の数は決まっている今夜はさっきので打ち止めだと思うけどせっかく四季がいるんだしもうちょっと探索してみましょうか
Okay, but when are we going back home?
互いに食い合わないようにか本格的に統率されてるんだなもっと無差別なものかと思った
親元の吸血鬼にしてみれば血液の採集は娯楽じゃなくて生存するための必要作業仕事だものルーチンワークを良しとするのよ
貴重な労働力ってわけかでもそれだと向こうも手を打ってこないかアルクエイドが数を減らしているんだからここから先は増員させるかあるいは死者を引っ込めて姿を隠すとか
That depends on their strategy.
基本的には出し渋る方でしょうねけど吸血鬼である以上 どうしても他者から血や精を搾取しないと生存していられない。親元は私に狙われていると分かっていても、最低限の食料を得るために死者を出すしかないってわけ。
I get it. Arcueid wants to starve them out. It would be nearly impossible to find our target just by looking, so we'll have to flush them into the open. Gotta love these diagrams. We'll cut off all their other options and give them no choice but to go out and hunt for themselves. Once they make their move, Arcueid will be able to sense them, and that's when the real hunt begins. We're going to stop this at the source, just like with Love.
状況は分かった。とにかく夜になったら街を歩き回ってまだ活動している死者を見つければいいんだな。
ええ。それでシキ、あなたにはメガネを外してついてきてほしいんだけど、いい？
Well, it might not be okay, but...
メガネを外してってなんで？
その方が確実だから。私は人間と人間じゃないものの気配を感じ取れる。あなたは聖者と死者の違いが視覚情報として読み取れる。索敵方法は大いに越したことはないでしょ。
That's gonna be a tough one. Arcueid's explanation makes sense. Plus, I'm the one who agreed to help, so there's no reason for me to decline. I just don't know if I'm comfortable with this.
あなたの体に大きく負担をかけることになるでしょうね。でも、いい機会だからもう一度だけ確認したいの。シキが大丈夫だと判断するのなら、メガネを外してついてきて。
I thought we already did our, checking something. We were able to see just how different a person is whenever they're dead, or undead if you will. Like, the amount of lines and everything. She wants to walk around town without my glasses, huh? Or wants me to walk around. And in the 7 years since I got these glasses, I've never once tried to do that before. Looking at inanimate objects is enough to give me a headache, so it's not hard to imagine what strolling through town with my eyes exposed would do to me. But even so, it's okay. One little headache won't kill me. Besides, a headache is nothing compared to what Arcueid has to deal with right now.
いいよ。メガネを外してついていく。それで型がつくって言うんなら安いもんだ。
そう。なら行きましょう。
I take a deep breath, remove my glasses, and set off into town. We could have waited on taking off the glasses maybe a little bit, like, keep that to a minimum, I don't know. Because this is going to really suck. It's going to be weird. Arcueid and I walk side by side through the crowds. It's the first time since I was hospitalized that I've walked around like this with the lines in full view. I don't feel any dizziness as of yet. I think the less you think of it, the more it'll help. But the more you think of it, yeah, you're going down, buddy. Simply seeing them doesn't give me too much of a headache. But while I can look at the thin lines of the buildings just fine, every glimpse of the lines tracing the people we pass makes me feel sick. Disgust surges within me. It's not the sight of their line-covered bodies that make me feel this way. It's the unwelcome knowledge that humans can die so easily that forces bile up my throat. And there's that humanity in him, Shiki's a good guy. We continue our search. Arcueid takes each step confidently, never saying a word. We spend around 2 hours checking prominent places close to the station. Yeah, we're gonna be in trouble when we get back home. But in the end, we don't find anyone resembling that clump of lines from earlier. Now, before we jump into, the pessimism here, I want to believe that this wasn't all for nothing, That there was this is going to help us. Shiki is getting used to seeing these lines, and he'll be able to fight. He'll be able to fight and do this a lot better next time, maybe?
やっぱり、もう今夜の死者はいないみたい。
I put on my glasses. My vision returns to normal, and I breathe a sigh of long-awaited relief.
そんな簡単に見切りをつけていいのか？まだ1回しか街を見回ってないけど。
一度見回れば十分よ。気配っていうのはね、 多少はその場所に残留するものなの。食料を調達する使者はさっきので最後だったのかも。ここからはもう一段階上の使者を潰していくわ。
不機嫌そうだな、アルクエイド。
当然でしょ。せっかくシキがいてくれるのに空振りなんだもの。はあ、かっこいいとこ見せようと思ったの。
That's it. He wanted to show off. Huh. Can't say I expected that to be the reason.
まあ俺は無駄骨でも気にしないけど、そんなにご不満ならもう一度街を回っても構わないぞ。俺も今度は意識を集中してみる。もしかしたら何か見つけられるかもしれない。
ダメよ。今夜はこれ以上あなたに無理はさせられない。
Yeah, bit by bit, honestly.
無理って別に俺は無理なんか。
してるのよ。シキ本人は気がついてないだけ。今だって顔色すごく青いし。ほら、ベンチに座って少しは楽になるんでしょ。
She guides, or rather pushes me down onto the bench. Truthfully, I'm about ready to throw up, so I'll take a seat for a bit. The relief is such that I accidentally let out a sigh. All the tension that I'd bottled up was released the moment I sat down. I guess I really was pushing myself too hard.
ありがとう。助かった。でもこれぐらい今までの頭痛に比べたら軽度だぞ。意識を保っていられないめまいに比べれば危ないこともないんだし。
My nausea will fade if I breathe in the fresh night air. Next to Arcueid's wound, this is nothing. She doesn't need to worry so much about... Arcueid?
弱い生き物のくせに無理はしないで。失神しなければ軽度。それは間違いよ。あなたの目に軽いも重いもない。あまり見えないものを見ようとしないで。そんなに脳を酷使したら廃人になりかねないわ。
廃人って誰が？
あなたがよ。どうしてそんなに危機感がないの？こんな希少な魔眼持ちなのに平和主義者とか美味しい獲物にも程があるし。よく今まで生きてこられたわね。ひょいってつまんで食べられるわよ、普通。
I think the glasses really helped him out in that regard. Or on Earth would that be normal? And hey, I'd appreciate it if she gave the nations of the world a little credit. Even if she wants to call us complacent, it's kind of amazing that law and order prevails as much as it does.
わかった。あんまり言いたくなかったけど、ちゃんと説明してあげる。いい？四季は生物の死は見やすくて、鉱物の死は見にくいって言ってたでしょ？それはね、結局はあなたの脳の回線の問題なの。物の死、その因果を見るということは、実際は見ているではなく、読んでいるという意味合いに近いわ。
Reading?
すべての事象には大元になった原因。この宇宙の始まりにしておしまいの地点。そこには全てを記録したものがある。記録というよりはあるものだから情報とは呼べない。ただあるだけ。それ自体に意思はないし方向性もありえない。この世界にあるものはその渦から流れ派生して今の形に行き着いたわ。私も四季も吸血種も人間も元はそこから始まった原子に過ぎない。もう離れすぎ複雑になりすぎてしまって原因である始まりに戻ることはできないけど、とにかくそういった位置があるのはわかるでしょ。でもね、たとえどんなに大元からかけ離れた形になっても派生した存在である以上、とても細い線だけど糸はつながっているのよ。
Yeah, imperceptible, but definitely perceptible by him. Despite the complexity that has come up between everything and
全て
everybody.
の始まりと終わりを記録したレコード。それとつながっているものは物事の終わりを知っていることになる。高等動物の脳は受信と送信を司る機能なんだけど、大抵の人間はその回線が自分に対してのみで閉じてしまっている。けど中には潜在的に回線が開いている人間もいる。
Magic circuits?
これをね、魔術師たちは超能力者って区分している。人間でありながら生まれついて何らかの魔術回路そのものという突然変異体。例えば何の神秘も学んでいないのに物の死を見てしまう人間とかね。
Sorry, Arcueid. I appreciate you explaining all this to me, but my brain barely understood a word. Yeah, she started getting into a lot of verbiage there that, you know, I'm definitely not fully picking up, so there's no way he's gonna be fully picking up all of that.
いいわよ、式は理解なんかしなくて。言っておきたいのは、あんまり見えにくいものを自分から見ようとしちゃダメってこと。私は見えないから断言はできないけど、式が見てしまってるものは線だけじゃないはずよ。あなたには線の他に、その起点である点も見えているんじゃない？
It's exactly as she says. Sometimes when I strain my eyes, the lines seem to form a single point. I saw something like that at the last moment with Vlov. Yeah, I do remember that. Now that I think back, it wasn't just with Vlov. The shock may have shut my brain off from reality, but I know they were there.
そうだ。あの時、お前を殺した時も確かに点が見えてた。何個もあって、線は点と点を結ぶように流れてた。
Like blood vessels, maybe. If the lines are blood vessels, then the points are whatever brings them forth.
ものの死にやすい線とその死。なんでしょうね、それ。式はその気になれば鉱物の死を見ることだって可能だと思う。けどそのために脳が生物の範疇から鉱物の範疇に回線を開いて鉱物の死を知ろうとしてしまう。それは本来ありえない運動よ。脳は過負荷を起こして式は間違いなく使い物にならなくなる。
Past the point of no return, huh?
それはこの目が死を見なくなってくれるってこと？
まさか。ねえ式、無茶をしてオーバーブローしたエンジンはどうなるのかしら？
It dies.
そりゃジャンク行きだろ。一度でも焼き付いたエンジンは二度と使い物にならない。
Ah, I see. The headaches I get when I see death are the cries of an engine overheating.
わかった。ただ見えているだけなら問題はないでしょうけど、見えないものを見ようとするのだけはやめて。せいぜい血管が破裂して脳に負荷がかかるぐらいに留めておきなさい。その先に踏み込んだら生きながらにして石になる。そのメガネを作ってくれた魔術師には感謝しないとね。大抵の超能力者は自分の力がどんなに危険なものか知らずに使用して自分から廃人になってしまうから。まあ人間でありながら人間の社会では生きられない存在的不適合者だから。
どうやらそれが私がここに来た理由のようだし、私が君を以前の生活に戻してあげる。
Yeah, and then we jumped away from that normal life. That's what Master told me when she made these glasses. I owe her so much it hurts to think about. That day she saved me in more ways than one. I wouldn't be here without her.
ところで、
うわっ！
Arcueid materializes right in my face as I'm in the middle of ruminating. This isn't good for my heart. I wish she'd let me have a moment considering what we just talked about. Yeah, we gotta process this stuff, you know?
メガネならもう渡さないぞ。
そうじゃなくて、これからどうする？もう死者は出てきそうにないし、今夜はここでお別れにする？
It's 11 o'clock. My curfew was ages ago. I will... Oh, shit. We can talk with Arcueid a little longer or head home for the night, and... Honestly, I don't know what to do. Because we're already in trouble at home. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, we are royally fucked either way. But maybe there's more that we can gain from Arcueid. More that we can learn about ourselves. Maybe learn more about her. Or the situation at hand. So, I'm going to go for the top choice. I will talk with Arcueid a little longer. There's still so much I don't understand despite already having decided to help hunt this vampire.
いや、まだ吐き気が収まらないし、落ち着くまでここにいるよ。その間、お前に聞きたいこともあるし、町の巡回は無理でも、それぐらいならいいだろう。
そう私はいいけど、式はいいの？
Not entirely.
人間って夜は眠くなるんでしょ？
別にいいよ。もともと眠るのは苦手だし。
苦手ってことは不眠症？
いや、寝つきはいい。単に好きじゃないってこと。
You know what? I completely relate. Sorry, guys, I'm going to go into rambling mode here, but honestly, for the past few years, I have been in that same situation, especially recently. Like, I can go to sleep just fine, you know? Exhaustion does hit me like a brick sometimes just because of, like, you know, a long work week where I was just busy through the week. Or, you know, a week or so ago, I was sick. So, you know, resting was all I could do. But honestly, sleep just doesn't feel comfortable in a way, you know? And I don't know how to like regain that comfortability. I just feel like on edge whenever I'm asleep, and that shouldn't be. So at the end of the day, or at the end of my rest, I'm not feeling fully rested. And that low-key sucks. Am I alone on this? I feel like I'm alone on this.
ふん。夢は見ないの？
I know I do. Dream. I'm not sure how to answer that.
とにかく0時までは付き合う。そっちが話しずくめで疲れてるならこのまま帰るけど。
ううん、全然疲れてない。むしろ全力で受けて立つわ。
What does that mean?
そうなんだ。元気があって羨ましいけど、勢い余って暴れ出すなよ。
そんな無駄なことするわけないし。もう、シキは私のことなんだと思ってるの？なんか誤解してない？
大丈夫。そこは完璧ブレてない。アルクエイドのことは手加減のできないやりすぎ吸血鬼だと思ってる。
I mean, come on, a person that doesn't know how to hold back sometimes, they show their true colors, and in a lot of ways, that's good. Maybe in some other ways, that's not so good. Time to barrage her with questions. What do I want to know about? Vampires, in as much detail as possible. What are the 27 ancestors, or her battle attire when we fought Vlolv? Honestly, I would like to learn about point number 3 there. But, I feel like we already got as much detail as necessary on vampires. I'm sure there's more to know. But we got our rundown. We took Vampire 101 or whatever it was. I kind of want to go for... Okay, I guess I'm not allowed to ask question number 2 there because... it's not letting me. It won't actually let me go there. I'm not sure why. I guess I'm just not allowed to? Okay. People in the comments, if you can let me know if maybe I'm just having like a controller issue, or I'm not allowed to ask question number 2. Because that seems like the most unknown thing to me here. So I guess we crossed that one out. Question number 1, or choice number 1, we just want to learn about vampires a little bit more, or to learn a little bit more about her battle attire, which I'm definitely kind of leaning towards because that would let us know a little bit more about her and her abilities. So, well, I guess we'll go for that. This is a good chance to ask. No, the best chance. And I've actually been insanely curious about it.
ブローブと戦っていた時に着てた服見せて。
That's not really what I wanted from this. This has happened before already. Maybe once or twice in this game. That's not specifically what I was aiming for. I just wanted to know, like, her abilities. Yep. I had a feeling she'd look at me like that. But I just can't get that image out of my head.
あの時は遠くにいたからよく見えなくて。なんか今と違う服装になってなかった？
With all of my being, I muster a tone suggesting simple scientific curiosity. If Arcueid thinks I have ulterior motives, that's on her.
おお、ブローブ対策で表面を変えていた時のこと？疲れるからやりたくないんだけど、レシピはまだ残してるから。
Oh boy. Even I kind of forgot about the outfit. Okay.
はい、これでいいの？
Mamma mia. I mean, yeah, it's cool. All good, she asks. as if the sight before me wasn't positively breathtaking. There stands her beautiful flowing form. Soft gloves envelop her arms in a silken embrace. The shoulders are open, revealing gorgeous, immaculate skin. So this is what it's like to be at a total loss for words. Achingly beautiful is the only phrase that comes to mind to describe the alabaster vision. That's not the noise I would have made, but an incomprehensible groan of admiration escapes from my lips. It's hard to believe the thing before me is the same vampire who's caused me nothing but trouble today. I wonder if she wouldn't come back to the mansion wearing that. That would certainly be something to see.
これ、私の選択ミスだからあんまり好きじゃないんだけど。ブローブの原理が寒さだと見抜いていれば、もっとあったかいイメージで固めてたわ。
Now that she mentions it, the air does feel colder around her. It almost looks as if glimmering crystals of ice are swirling in the air.
そっか、耐熱仕様なんだもんな。そりゃ冷房機能もついてるか。
そう、くれぐれも触らないでね。触れると四季も凍っちゃうから。
Oh, that's dangerous.
これは私自身の守りじゃなくて、ブローブに組みついた時、炎を消すために作ったものよ。
The best defense is a good offense, huh? How very like Arcueid. I mean, it's a pretty fire outfit despite how cool it is. Still, and I hate to admit this, she really is a princess.
もう、何よ難しそうな顔して。もしかして四季、私の失敗を見て楽しいの？
そんなわけあるか。これが失敗なら世の中の9割は失敗だ。普段からこの格好はダメだよな。目立ちすぎる。第一、他のやつに見せるなんてとんでもない。これは俺だけの特権だ。
Okay, buddy, let's calm down a little here.
そう？じゃあ気に入ったってこと？
If this somehow gets us brownie points with Arcueid, there's a brownie point system in this game, right? Then, you know what? It works. Whatever, it's her route. The realization of what I've just said crashes over me like a wave. Because of the sight in front of me, I failed to stop myself from saying something so stupid.
まあ、それなりに。一緒に戦うとき、お前がいろいろできると頼りになるだろう。
Excuse me, anything to salvage this. It seems she's happy to be a big help.
もちろん、私基本的に万能だから。殺すことしか能のない四季を最大限にサポートするね。
Maybe I went a little too far. Now I'm pretty sure she intends to launch me at our enemies like a tennis ball. Honestly, it may be my fault for coming up with such a crazy plan when we fought Vlov. But it
ところ
worked.
で、その服、名前とかあるのか？
名前？そんなのいちいち決めないけど。ドレスコードはそうね。そういうイメージで作ったわ。
Donning a glacier.
じゃあ、ブローブの力を見抜いていたら。
キラーウェアをイメージしていたでしょうね。あそこは今も活動している火山だから。
Admittedly, I would love to see her in a Hawaiian style. I don't think that's what we're getting here.
ねえ、そろそろ着替えていい？力無駄に使いたくないし。
While I may be sad to see the dress go, I have no grounds to stop her. I tell her it's fine, trying to keep my composure all the while. A more compelling question comes to mind.
なあ、ブローブとの戦闘服がなんでドレスなんだ？社交界に行くわけでもあるまいし。
I mean, you gotta look cool when you fight.
ん？社交界ってそういうものでしょ？
なるほど。
Apparently, vampire big shots spend all their time at each other's throats. Well, yeah, probably. That was interesting. Honestly, I'm content with making that choice, but I would have liked to have picked the second choice. The hands on the clock, or hands of the clock, have reached their zenith. While we were talking, midnight snuck up on us.
もう日付が変わっちゃうね。 もったいないけどそろそろ休んでもらわないと。
俺ならまだ元気だけど。
But there's not anything that you can do.
それは四季がそう思ってるだけよ。今夜はここでお別れにしましょう。どうせまた明日には会えるんだから。
Maybe like a bit within Shiki is that he doesn't want to stop seeing Arcueid. He doesn't want their connection to be cut like how he thought it already had been. Arcueid begins moving away with a little dance step, still looking my way.
明日って、ちょっと待て。待ち合わせ場所とかどうするんだよ。おい
Oh, she'll find him. She'll find him.
ここでいいよ。時間は10時頃がちょうどいいかな。おやすみなさい、四季。また明日。
And there's no stopping her. After offering a cheerful wave, she departs.
No.
The mind wants to complain, but the heart just isn't in it. She may be trouble, but even more than that, she's cute.
なんだよ、今の顔。
She's dangerous. How could I ever miss our plans if she's going to look at me like that? I really like Arcueid. I definitely understand the favoritism that people have towards her character in this series now. I totally get it. I mean, she's stunning, fun personality. She's a little bit of a ditz, powerful as fuck. I don't know, there's a whole lot to appreciate out of her. Yes, appreciating her, you know, ditziness at times, you know? I think that's what really makes her a standout. So, not in a bad way. I think characters do have their pros and cons, but I do think Arcueid altogether is really something to appreciate. So, I'm excited. I make it back to the mansion. Not a single light brightens the building. The door is not locked.
翡翠、ちゃんと開けててくれたんだ。
I let out a grateful sigh. So as not to wake anyone, I end up tiptoeing to my room. I wonder how that'll go for us. Maybe surprisingly well? It looks like it went surprisingly well. That's interesting. Another sigh, this time from relief, escapes as I settle onto the bed. Arcueid was right. My body is thoroughly exhausted. It feels like the mattress is sucking me in. Whoa, stepbed. Still lying down, I let out a massive breath. Again, I'm working with Arcueid. Fate just keeps dragging me back into her blast radius.
でも仕方ないじゃないか。放っておけなかったんだから。
And the city is in danger, technically. Or maybe I don't want to. Maybe I'm drawn to her, to all her beauty, and all her inhumanity. How stupid of me. I've already killed once with these hands, so what am I losing my mind over? The whole reason I'm even touching this vampire hunting business is for the city I call home. I don't want to die, so I have to help out.
そうだ。それ以外。
I close my eyes. Glasses off, sleep takes me over, a giant hand pulling my body and my consciousness into a deep darkness. Whatever happens, I'll be fighting alongside her again. Right now, I should just get ready for tomorrow. Unless we're jumping straight into the deep end yet again, which is very likely. You know, something crazy could happen overnight even. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like we're just jumping right into the next chapter here. So it looks like my controls are just fine. I guess we weren't allowed to check out that that second choice there. That kind of sucks. Why is the day 8 there red and not blue like it had been prior? I'm a little curious about that. The estate was our playground back then. A forest as deep and vast as the ocean. A house that looked more like a castle. Each day a new adventure would unfold in our kingdom. There was so much to explore. Every day was fun. We had no idea that we would ever grow up. Doing the same things day in and day out, but never getting bored. We were just children, playing and yelling like puppies. We got along well, we were regular partners in crime. Akiha was always there when I looked for her. I would wave at her, and she would get all embarrassed and hide. Yeah, the same as always. The estate was our playground back then. A forest as deep and vast as the ocean. A house that looked more like a castle. Each day a new adventure would unfold in our closed little world. There was so much to explore. You know, even so I didn't have a castle-like house or a forest in the backyard or anything crazy like that, you know. I lived in like the countryside, kind of like middle of nowhere type. Not necessarily middle of nowhere, but it wasn't a city environment. It wasn't a town. It was just kind of in the middle of the country. And there wasn't really much, you know, going out as there could have been if I was in a city environment. You know, just being able to, you know, walk down the sidewalks, the streets or whatever with stores all around and being able to get to others' houses pretty quickly. It just wasn't like that. Not to that degree, at least. You know, I had friends that, you know, lived somewhat around, but my point is that I was also in quite the closed-off world myself, so I kind of get that. There wasn't like a infinite amount of things to explore. Again, we don't have like a giant forest in the backyard or anything, but it was really nice, and I do miss those days at times because I also had siblings, and it was all about just a new day in our closed-in little world. I wake from a peaceful slumber. The morning light pulled me from my deep sleep, my dream. I feel like I dreamed of something from a long time ago. Time for glasses. Those horrendous things assault my vision when I open my eyes. My head feels like it's going to split open at the temples. It's a clear day. The sun bathes the garden in such a vivid light that I can even spot it from my bedroom. Rays of achingly bright sunlight illuminate every nook and cranny of my surroundings. My glasses. I try to extend my hand to take them from my bedside pillow, or from beside my pillow, but notice something strange. There's no sensation in my arms or legs. I can clearly think of what I want them to do, but the signal doesn't seem to reach. It's like I've got locked-in syndrome. So we call that sleep paralysis. I suffer the time and silence, unable to even close my eyelids. Basically, we woke up before the body woke up. It's kind of like the body is still in sleep mode, but we're also conscious. The mind doesn't want us to, it's kind of stuck in between. The sunlight begins to soften. Feeling returns to my arms and legs. Taking a deep breath, I finally manage to get my glasses to seal away that sight. Exhaling, I free myself from the bed's confines at last. That was nothing of note. It happened all the time during my stay in the hospital. Whenever I was exhausted, my vision would go blurry and my limbs would become paralyzed. My appetite would totally disappear too. That seems to happen to you anyways. This is just what happens if I spend too much time looking at things with my naked eyes. I think I could see them more clearly than I used to. The lines on buildings have always seemed thin to me. It's rare for them to be that distinct. What was once just a lingering headache now feels like I took a bullet to the brain. Now that's what we call a migraine. I remember what Master once told me. She said my eyes could end up attracting unpleasant things. Arcueid also said not to use my eyes too much, that doing so would destroy my mind. And this is what I get for involving myself with vampires. Not only do I have to face danger when I fight them, but now I've invited danger into my everyday life. Though there's no use dwelling on it, I knew this was going to happen when I decided to help Arcueid. Sitting around and doing nothing wouldn't be productive anyway. There's no stopping until Soya is free of vampires. I'm only helping her because I want to protect Akiha and the other people I care about.
Yes.
I quickly get out of bed, trying to clear my head of any unpleasant thoughts. I should get changed and thank Hisui for last...
Are...
Yeah, she's not here, is she? Come to think of it, Hisui isn't here. It's a little after 7. Hisui would usually be here to wake me up,
寝坊したのかな。
but my theory is swiftly rebuked when I notice that there's a change of clothes prepared on my desk. Maybe she had something more important to do. I'm curious about what might have diverted her attention, but it's really none of my business. There's not much time to spare, so I'll just get into my uniform and head downstairs. I do wonder what's up, though. I'm just a curious guy, you know, what can I say? And I'm sure we're in trouble. What's going on? Oh, okay, we just kind of got hit with a flashback real quick, you know? Sometimes that happens. Memories of yesterday's events hit me the moment I opened the door. Sometimes I amaze even myself. The fact that I managed to forget all about something as disastrous as yesterday has me genuinely concerned for my own well-being. The worries about my mental health can wait until after surviving what comes next. I stand there at the open door, frozen like a sculpture and unable to venture inside. Meanwhile, in the parlor, Akiha is seated on the sofa, just like she was last night. Kohaku is standing behind her as usual. Up until now, Akiha has always greeted me with a, "Good morning, Shiki." But today, she won't even look in my direction. Needless to say, this is all because I left last night without explaining anything about Arcueid. It almost looks like she's just lounging, but animosity is radiating from her every pore. You could cut the tension with a knife.
おはようございます、シキさん。
Hey, but we got Kohaku on our side.
朝ごはんの前にお茶にいたしますか?
Guess Kohaku doesn't have to worry about any of this.
おはよう、琥珀さん。お茶はまた落ち着いた時に。
I return Kohaku's greeting and enter the parlor properly. Akiha side-eyes me as I timidly cross the room. Can't let myself cave to her silent intimidation. It's times like these when a person's resourcefulness is truly put to the test. I should, greet her with plenty of cheer, just say hi already, or apologize immediately. Okay. Yeah, see, I get to choose all three. I just wasn't able to last time. Okay. I'm going to go for the apology. Whether it works or not, I think that's the right thing to do. We know that we're in the wrong. I don't want us to just kind of, skate past that. Doubt I'm going to be able to talk my way out of this one. Anything I say is likely to just pour gasoline on the fire. My only option is to apologize as quickly and sincerely as I can. Better to say sorry before she can start grilling me.
昨夜のことだけど、あれは。
兄さん、一つだけ忠告してよろしいですか?
Okay, well, so much for the apology. But before I can apologize, Akiha cuts me off, her voice cold enough to send shivers up my spine.
兄さんは遠野家の長男なんですから、いたずらに謝罪の言葉を口になさらないように。謝るということは、自分が悪いと認めることです。
I mean, we are at fault. That is for certain, 100%.
その場合、遠野家の長男に相応の罰則を与えなくてはいけなくなるでしょう?
I mean, you can punish us. I mean, we're in the wrong. Force her. More like allow her. Just look at that wicked smile on her face. If I can't apologize, then all that's left is for me to perish. Time to get out before she kills me.
すまない、アキハ。遠野家の長男として朝食を取りに食堂に行きたいんだけど、いいかな。
I need to retreat.
兄さん。
My feet stop dead in their tracks at Akiha's glacial tone.
食事の前に話があります。どうぞ、ソファーに座ってください。
Her tone makes it apparent that resistance is futile. I've dug my own grave, and I do believe this may be my last day on Earth. Now that flight is off the table, my only option is to fight.
わかった。できる限り手短に頼む。
I quietly sit down on the sofa across from Akiha. Kohaku prepares a cup of tea for me as I do. She's giving off a positive vibe that helps cheer me on just a tad. Of course, Akiha may be the head of the family, but she's still my little sister. I don't think this will be totally one-sided. No, it will be. I take a sip of my tea and meet Akiha's gaze.
それでどんな話？
昨夜の女性と成功なされたのです。
Oh, that's right. Total misconception of things that were stated. Yeesh. I'm lucky I didn't burn myself. Akiha's first pitch was an unbelievable fastball. I thought I was going to choke on my tea for a second.
兄さん、私の話を聞いてます？
Yeah, loud and clear.
聞いてるよ。
Yep,
よく
there
聞
we
こえ
go.
てる。
それでは答えてください。昨夜の女性についてできる限り正確に、嘘偽りなく、私を決して怒らせない範囲で詳しく。
その条件だと何も口にすることができない。
私を怒らせないでと忠告したはずですが。
So if we speak, we're fucked. Wait, so that was a warning?
いや、無理難題な匂いがプンプンしてきたな。
なんです？声が小さくて聞こえません。もっとはっきりおっしゃってください。一体あの女の方は兄さんにとってどのような方なんですか？
どうと言われても協力関係というか友達のようなものという。
夜中に出かけるほどのご友人なんですね。
I mean, I've got friends that I'll meet up with late at night, but it's typically not of the opposite sex, and there's not like a idea going around that there's sexual relations occurring.
ええ、私だって兄さんが将来どなたと関係を持とうと意見する気はありませんけど、兄さんはまだ学生でしょ？
I just realized how depressing that was that I just said, by the way. Scratch all that, please.
遠野家の長男がどこのものともわからない女性と夜な夜な相引きをしているだなんて、そんな恥知らずなことは慎むべきではないでしょうか。
So that's what my relationship with Arcueid looks like to her.
待て、アキハ。まず初めに言っておくと、俺とあいつはそういう関係じゃない。俺はあいつの探し物に手を貸してるだけで、用が済んでしまえばもう二度と会わない関係なんだよ。
Yeah, technically that is kind of what we're doing. We're on a mission for hunting a vampire. Once that's done, I mean, is that like the extent of their relationship?
その割には随分と親しそうでしたけど、それは私の気のせいだと言うんですね。兄さん、あの方とはあくまで一時的な損得だけの関係だと。
Yeah, more or less. Akiha's gaze is ice cold. All I'd have to do is say yes, and that would be the end of this conversation. But something is holding me back. It's true that we're both getting something out of our partnership, but I also don't want to admit that's all there is to it.
それは親しくはないけど、損得だけで手を貸してるわけじゃないというか。
でしょうね。今まで見たこともないほどの慌てようでしたから。何事も真剣になってくれない兄さんが感情をあらわにするなんて。
そこまで慌ててないし、白状でもない。
Yeah, we were
あいつが
flustered.
うちに来るなんて思ってもいなかったから驚いただけだ。
We were 100% flustered. That is like the definition there.
そうですか。あの女の方は落ち着いた様子で兄さんのことをずっと待っていましたけど。
She gives me a sidelong glance, obviously trying to imply something. It looks like Akiha is fully convinced that Arcueid and I are dating.
あのな、アキハ。勘違いもそこまでにしてくれ。そもそも俺とあいつが知り合ったのは
Because I killed her. Well, I stopped myself before the truth slips out. There's no reason for Akiha to know, and it's not like she'd believe me anyway. Though I also can't think of another explanation. All I can manage is some half-hearted mumbling.
答えられないのでしたら質問を変えましょうか。先ほどから兄さんはあいつあいつと繰り返していますが、あの女性のお名前は？
名前はアルクエイドだけど。
そうですか。ということはお知り合いになったのは学校ではありませんね。
Akiha is right. We don't have any exchange students. But why does she even know that?
それで兄さんはあのような方と一体どこで知り合ったんです？
Technically, like in the city.
街で知り合ったんだよ。その偶然。
偶然ですか。ではアルクエイドさんの方から声をかけてきたんですね。
No.
ああ、いや、声をかけたのは俺の方だけど。
If by initiated contact you mean murdered in cold blood, she tracked me down after that, but I am the one who started it.
どうして声をかけたんです？兄さんはアルクエイドさんとは何もないのに。それとも初めはそういうおつもりだったんですか？
Akiha's interrogation is mercilessly precise. With every question, she's closing in on the truth. She's got me like a deer in headlights, and if this goes any further, I won't be able to lie my way out of it. It sucks to do it this way, but I don't have any other choice. I have to end this in whatever way I can.
ああ、もうとにかくあいつとは何でもない。大体な、俺が何をしようがアキハには関係ないだろ。どうせ形だけの長男なんだから、誰と付き合ったところで遠野家に迷惑はかけないはずだ。
Oh, this is gonna piss her off. It's cowardly to use being disowned as my argument, but I can't think of another way to get Akiha off my back. Or to back off. Yeah, same shit. Akiha narrows her eyes for a moment and then takes a deep breath as she stands. That's weird. I was expecting another sharp-tongued retort, but instead she looks away.
私だってこんなことは言いたくありません。ただあの人は嫌な感じがするんです。他の相手なら仕方がないと諦めます。けれど兄さんがあの人に気を許すのなら、なんだか私がバカみたいじゃないですか。
For some reason, Akiha bites her lip in frustration as she speaks.
どうしたんだアキハ。なんかおかしいぞお前。
もういいです。兄さんは兄さんのなさりたいようご自由になさってください。
Oh, that's permission. Akiha exits the parlor with uncharacteristically heavy steps.
もう四季さん、今のはひどいですよ。
Yeah, it's not really the way I would have gone about it either, but I also get his reasoning for it.
アキハ様がおかわいそうです。恋人を連れてくるのでしたら、もっと普通の人を連れてきてあげてくださいな。
What the fuck?
そうすれば、アキハ様も納得してくださったでしょうに。
Kohaku heaves a heavy sigh and chases after Akiha. Yeah, I think everybody just doesn't have such a correct idea here, but it's not like we can correct anyone. That's the frustrating part. We really can't. And I guess off to school we now go. Alright, well, we'll wrap it up on that note. God damn it. Alright, well, this is fun. No, it actually is. I'm having such a good time with this. It feels good to be back at it. Yeah, like I said, it kind of sucked getting sick like I did, but yeah, being at EVO and seeing all the merch and everything that I did see with like Neko Arc, but even stuff that I'm like, wait a minute, that is just straight up Tsukihime. It's also not necessarily Tsukihime, I guess, and I don't want to ask any other questions. One of my friends that I went with seemed to kind of recognize what I was looking at, but he didn't really see it as Tsukihime either. So, yeah, I'm just going to remain oblivious and just carry on that way, I suppose. Would have been cool to get like a little Neko arc thing, though. I'm sure I could have gotten that and at least like been totally okay, like a little keychain or something. But to all the vendors that were there, it was cool to see all of that. But yeah, eventually, one day, I'll be fully caught up once I get through peak. But, you know, it takes time. I'm just happy to be in it here with you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. Hopefully my audio and everything totally worked out here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.